It's showtime.
Hey guys, Django Fett here, and we are back with KOTOR. After a little bit of a hiatus, I wanted to take a little bit of break before the, end of the year with the holidays and everything. But happy 2019, and this is a good one, guys. This is a good video, and it's a very long one, and I apologize for that. But I want us to go to Korriban. So I only have Korriban and Manan left, and I figured let's do a more interesting one and something that I think will grab your attention more, and that is Korriban. So why not? So Korriban is a Sith homeworld as well as a pseudo graveyard world as well. So it's kind of the birth and death of the Sith at the same time. It's kind of a weird placement with Korriban, but this is the Dresden Sith Academy, and Zerka is actually positioned there as well. And basically we have to infiltrate the Sith base.
You felt it, yes? Another vision? The Force continues to work through us, showing us the star maps unearthed by Revan Malak. There are some who believe Korriban is the birthplace of the Sith. This planet is an evil place. There are secrets here You were right, of course. We cannot turn away from the path we've started on, no matter where it may lead. During the vision I felt cold and I was buried alive.
So there's actually going to be 4 tombs we will have to actually explore, and in this one's unique because we cannot actually use Bastila. So because the Sith will recognize her, we cannot bring her, but we can bring everyone else.
Few among them who might recognize my face. For the safety of our mission, I must remain on the Ebon Hawk.
So I'm going to talk to a bunch of my other teammates, crew members, and then we will go out and explore Korriban.
Talk about what? The only thing I want to do right now is find Dustil. I'll understand if we can't.
And it's really important that I talk to them because then I will unlock other additional character quests associated with them and have them bond with me and, unlock different quests and stuff. So I think it's really important to actually talk to them quite a lot and unlock those secondary quests.
It was not your fault. It was a horrible place to have to live. At least in the lower cities where the non-humans tended to get relegated. Living for years in a place with no sun, living off the trash dropped from the upper levels, and the meager pay doing back-breaking labor. There was always
so, interestingly enough, out of all the characters in KOTOR, I actually did not bond with Juhani that much. I never even talked to her that much. I thought she was the least interesting character. But she is actually one of the most interesting characters I've seen in this game, actually. Believe it or not. And I thought she would be super boring, and that's why I never explored her. But she's got like this really tragic past, and then eventually coming into a Jedi, but it's still like that tragedy and that darkness still haunts her to this day. So that's why I think it's really interesting, and just to see how the Mandalorians defeated her race, and then her being just downtrodden and beaten down so much. It's just so interesting to me. So, uncovering her quest line is really interesting. So later on, you'll see in the next couple of coming videos, her secondary choice, and that's the first time I actually ever, viewed that, believe it or not. So That's the first time I've ever seen that before in my life.
But the Jedi
So,
Order seems to have
something we'll
collected
both
a fair
explore
number.
together.
The Jedi who encouraged me to join the Order. The one who was with the group going to fight the Mandalorians. She was human. I am sorry. I am getting away. Sometimes I curse the day my parents fled to but then again, if they had not, I would not be where I am today. Another story for another time. For now, we must continue our own epic to save the galaxy.
Got something on your... Did I say that? Strange the tricks memory plays on you when you get older. Didn't I say that my past was my affair? You don't see me poking...
You're an old man to
I
me.
might be, but a mouthy young thing like yourself shouldn't get to call me an old coot, damn it.
This guy is so weird.
Don't
He
really
always
wanna
comes
hear
up with
about
the weirdest things in order to get to his point. But he's always so interesting in that aspect.
Oh, fine, fine. Have it your way. Just don't cry about it later. Yes, I was an adventurer. Happy now?
I was an adventurer too,
That was
like
my
you,
Jedi
until I
training
took
back
an arrow
then.
to the knee.
I had a full head of hair and an eagerness to see absolutely everything. Sound familiar? The council was never happy with willful, brash Jolie Bindo, you see. Even less so when I began my smuggling career. Don't look at me like that, damn it. I wasn't always the wrinkled coot I am now, you know. I can still fight, too. So wipe off that smirk I see there. At the time, the hiatus system was interdicted by its own king. He preferred to keep his people starving and poor, all the better to oppress them. The Senate was trying to negotiate a peace, but they were getting nowhere as usual. I decided I wasn't going to wait. I found myself a ship and a partner, and we began smuggling food and supplies to the hiatus citizenry through the blockade. Oh, it was. I was a half-decent pilot in those days, and with the Force guiding me, we made it through some tough spots nobody else. Pilot, smuggler, several other things too. Or did you suppose I was always a crotchety hermit? Well, we didn't buy all the equipment per se. Some were happy to donate goods. Some we just knew had more than they could use. Stole is such a harsh word. They would have donated those goods readily enough if they were compassionate. I considered it a tax on the greedy. We only got caught once. A lone hiatus frigate shot us down and forced a crash landing. I thought the Force had abandoned me, as I remember. Well, as it happens, getting shot down turned out to be very fortunate. That day was the day well, that was the day I met my wife. It's all right. When you're digging through the trash, you shouldn't be surprised when you encounter something unpleasant. If it's all the same to you, I'd prefer to stop talking now. My mouth is starting to draw flies.
Yeah, what do you want? The war we had with the Republic was supposed to be the most glorious battle in our history. But it was a very costly one. I guess we didn't think of how much we could lose in it. There weren't many of us after that last battle. Mandalore himself was killed at the hands of the Jedi Revan. The best of us could not defeat him. After that last battle, those of us that survived were stripped of our weapons, our armor, and our basilisks. Revan's forces destroyed them while we were forced to watch. Those who hadn't fled earlier were left with nothing to call their own. No weapons, no armor, only the honor of having fought in the battle we just lost. For many, this was not enough. While the rest of us were sent into exile on the Outer Rim, they tried to relive the old days, raiding worlds. They're nothing more than bandits now. Yeah, I came to Taris. And forcing for Davik was not stimulating. The gangs on Taris and Davik's rivals were trash. They give no thrill in battle, no honor or glory in defeating them. It was like stepping on bugs. I sought worthy challenges, but the best that Terrace could offer were nothing to me. But I think now, with you, I may finally find opponents worth fighting. Maybe later I'll tell you more about what it was like to work for Davik. For now, though, is there something else? Korriban is a Sith world, that's for... Rumor has it that the leader of our clan at the time, Mandalore, did go down. They say the Sith performed terrible magics here. Do you have anything else? Your choice.
Alright, let's equip some stuff for Jolie. And as you can see, it's one lightsaber, and it's a dramatic difference as he has plus 18 for his damage to hit. So it's much better this time.
I'm here only to protect.
Alright, so we're now finally getting out of there, done talking to the team members, and we're going to go into Korriban itself and experience what the Sith are like firsthand.
I'm no master yet, but I like the sound of that. Alright, one more question. A lot of you is trying my patience. Alright, let's say you become a Sith and I am your commanding officer. I give you an order to spare the life of an enemy. Do you do it?
Oh, of course, Shardan. Anything you command us.
We would never oppose you.
No. Do you honestly believe that the Sith are in need of such sniveling cowards? Mercy is a weakness. If your leader shows weakness, it is your duty to kill him and show true authority, true power. That is why the Sith are strong. No, you don't understand, and you probably never will. You wouldn't survive 5 seconds in the academy. The other students would tear you apart. Bah! I can't be bothered with fools. Perhaps I should... You,
so
Jedi,
if you didn't
you're
have your
looking into the
lightsaber,
academy, are you not?
people would not
Of course
refer
not.
to you
Then
as
pose
a
question
Jedi,
to
but
These
as some
hopefuls will never
Outlander or
survive
something like
the
that.
academy.
So
Listen
that's an
to
interesting
what's
thing
taught here, but
that
I'm
I
a little
picked up
lost
during
to what forms
the
it
dialogue.
is.
So if you don't have your lightsaber with you,
I wasn't
they will
talking
call
to
you
you.
something
I'm
differently.
thinking to spare
But
them
if you
the
do have your
effort they
lightsaber,
killed
they'll
and
refer to you as a
myself.
Jedi, like
Perhaps
who's
I
going to be
shall
turning
turn
into a
a
dark Jedi.
student inside
So
you.
I think that's
Or
pretty
force
interesting in itself.
lightning. Yes, it's a most impressive display. Well, perhaps a bit of humiliation is in order. I could easily strip off their tunics and make them run through the colony. Or they could lose all control of their bodily functions. What do you think? I just can't seem to decide.
We didn't do anything. Please, help us.
Silence! It's not what they did so much as what they didn't do, which is prove themselves worthy. I'm exhausted from dealing. Let them go. And what could pop? No, I think it's you who isn't worth my time. Them, I prefer.
So I wasn't able to save them, so I thought maybe I have to reload the save. But I still get light side points nonetheless, so I just continued with the game. So I wanted to show off this guy's store, because he's got some interesting stuff. He's got a craft warblade. He's got Cassius Fett's heavy pistol, 4 to 11, critical threat, stun 25%, 6 seconds, balance +2, attack modifier +3, upgradable range. Cassius Fett was rarely seen without this adaptable blaster, famous for killing the captain of a flagship Republic frigate at the Battle of Jaga's Cluster. So Cassius Fett is a weird case because you don't really see him at all in the KOTOR comics. You only see him like a couple times, like 1 or 2 times, but you never see him during the Jaga cluster, what they're referring to. So that's like later. That must be like later on during the war.
And they think they're better than the rest of us.
Great. Just what we needed. Some punks to come steal our lunch
So these
credits.
Sith are trying to pick on me, and let's see what we can do to stand up for ourselves.
That's what I thought. Well, stranger, I don't know whether you're aware of this or not, but here on Korriban, the Sith do as they please. And we are Sith. Quite literally, whether you live or die depends upon our whim. What do you think of that,
Or I can just be begging and just say, let me live, please. But I don't want to be like that. No way. Fuck them. I don't think there's any need for hostilities.
Oh, neither do I. I simply stated a fact. Do you know how many Sith there are in Dresde?
What is this, a raffle? How many guesses do we get?
Do not provoke them, Karth.
Enough to crush this fool! Let's do it, Lasho.
Now, let's not be hasty. Perhaps our friend here could yet offer up some amusement. What do you say? Amuse us, make us laugh, and we might just consider allowing you to live.
If you really want to fight, just make the first move. Okay, these two Mandalorians, that's a joke, and I think that would automatically fail, I think. I've already heard that joke before. That's a fail. But I'm not here to amuse you.
Oh, I see. Well, we'll just have to see about that, won't we?
It looks like this one's not afraid of you at all, Lasho.
Are you going to let us be insulted?
Oh, get over yourself already. I'm tired of this.
Yeah, this one's got some backbone at least. Let's go.
Fine. I'll deal with you later.
So, she's going to be one of the competitors in the Sith Academy once we get to that part. And I'll tell you who the competitors are. So this is another shop that I wanted to show off too. The stuff that he has.
You certainly can.
Alright, so whatever, yada yada yada. Exar Kun's light battle suit. 9+3 attributed to Exar Kun. This armor may well have been worn by the Dark Lord prior to his defeat 40 years ago. He was rarely without consideration yet flexible personal armor. So it's not really anything special. It's 6,000. That's a lot of money. Senegar war suit. It's not upgradable, which sucks. Ichani lined armor. But it's... I wanted to show this off because it looks nothing like what you wear. Craft Holy Battle Suit 9+2, 6,000. Resist versus cold, fire, and sonic. Many crafts sought to be guards of their dark temples in armor of this type. This is actually cool looking armor. Craft war armor and the heavy armor. They're both pretty cool, but they cost quite a lot. Powered battle armor. It's a cheaper type. It's pretty much the same thing. Heavy battle armor. It's just pretty much like the Mandalorian armor. Verpine bond demolitions +6, 1,500. So here is the Exar Kun suit. It does look like his outfit as it is in the picture, but it's nothing special. So I just put it away and just throw it away. I just end up reloading the save and then just whatever, and then just forget about it. So we have a shipment in the Ebon Hawk that we can actually sell back to this guy, and then get some money. But we actually will go back to the ship a little bit later and check out what the contents are, and then we will sell it back to him. He doesn't want us to check out the contents because that will ruin the product value quite a lot. Alright, so here is the outside of the Sith Academy. Here is one of the Sith members.
Good.
So this Sith guy is forcing these three to sit out here and die of hunger. And he says this is the only way that they'll learn, that they don't have it in them to become Sith. And they're doing this because they want to become Sith, but they're just fools and believe this guy will actually make them become Sith.
Oh, what a sweet...
They'll still be here in it.
So I could talk to these guys and tell them, like, this is worthless. I mean, you know, we gotta persuade them. And then I'll get let's say points. One of them passes out and dies. He's tricking you. Light side points. So they still want to get the Sith Academy regardless, which sucks for them. I couldn't save that guy. So this is one of the teachers, the Sith Masters, Uthara.
Something you need?
And we have to convince her that we want to become Sith in order to get in the academy and get on the planet itself to explore the temple and stuff like that. So we'll have to infiltrate them by just pretending to be on their side.
You've heard enough, so obviously a Padawan, perhaps? With that kind of power, you could be...
So if I didn't have my lightsaber, I think she would not refer to you as a Jedi.
I see.
Or I think she would refer to you as Jedi. I don't remember. But she still calls you a Jedi regardless, I believe. Even if you have your lightsaber or not.
Is there something you think me a fool? You are far from... I am. Obviously you're a Padawan, with that kind of you must not think much of... But I do desire a real answer. I see. No, my friend.
So I tried to lie, but she saw through my lie and she couldn't make me come through because I didn't have enough of persuasion. So I'm gonna have to retrieve the lightsaber from another Sith by fighting him in order to become part of the Sith.
Hey, what's this? Looks like we found ourselves a bit of sport, my friends.
This is good. I want to celebrate my acceptance into the academy.
Me too. So how about
I can actually fight these guys, get their lightsabers, and then give it back to Uthara. But I want to be light side, so...
But we do. All right, let's go. Consider yourself lucky.
So I get light side points, and I get some experience points. But there is another Sith we will run into regardless, and then we can fight him because he's mindless and crazy, and he's attacking everybody.
Once you become a Sith, you can do anything. You can feel the power coursing through you. None of you fools can compare to me. Please! You're jealous. You're jealous of my power. You think you deserve this medallion, don't you? Let's just see.
So I'm sorry, it wasn't a lightsaber, it's a medallion. So you have to get the medallion, and then you have to give it back to Uthara.
Sniveling fool! Like you would ever belong beside me in the academy. I'd rather kill you now and save us the trouble. What's this? It seems I have an audience. Look, Jedi, just keep walking. You can't stop me!
You again. So I see from the medallion. I see. How very enterprising of you. Though that is not the normal. We Sith do encourage such independent thinking. You may even be a suitable candidate to join us. That is what you wish. And yet, here you are in Little Korriban, just by accident? We wield ultimate power, my friend. To be a Sith is to taste free. You know the name. That is our way. You've heard enough.
Yeah, of course. I want to become a Sith, despite being so down the light side. I am. Yes, of course.
With that kind of power, you
cannot sense the light within me, and you want to break it or something. I have
exactly the sort of answer. I will take you to the academy.
I don't get how the Sith do not recognize that you're truly down the light side, and there's no way you can come back from that despite your choices. But I feel like they want to break you as much as possible so they can become dark side no matter what, and they see that potential within you no matter what for the Jedi. That's just a theory of mine. I'm just coming up with ideas, but that's how I believe how the Sith believe in initiates and who come in. Alright, so we're gonna meet up with the Master. He is a unique fellow, to say the least, and his master before him is even more unique. Very weird fellow.
A human that has had some training, it seems, Master Uthar. Very promising, I think.
Promising? That one's not worthy to lick spit off your shoes, Master.
I met this one in the colony. Unworthy, if you ask me.
That I'll judge for myself, thank you. Tell me, human, what do you know of the ways of the Sith? What preconceptions has your mind been polluted with?
I've killed too many Sith to have preconceptions about them. Sith are evil and have surrendered themselves. Do what they want. A force to be reckoned with. I've killed too many Sith.
Most impressive, if it is true. Those who were too weak to stand against you deserve their fate, so expect no retribution from us. There is much you can learn from the Sith, and we from you. The Jedi equate the light with goodness and strength, and the dark with weakness and evil. That is their tradition, and it is truly no surprise that they cling to it for comfort. We, however, do not treat the Force as a burden. We treat it as a gift, a thing to be celebrated. We use it to acquire power over others. And why should we not? Because the Jedi say we should not. We are as the Force is meant to be. The Jedi would hide that from you. They would tell you the dark side is too quick, too easy, all so that they need never challenge the passions that lie within them. Joining with us means realizing your true potential. It means not stifling yourself solely for the sake of hidebound shamans and their antiquated notion of order. Be what you were meant to be. What say you, Lasho? Are you ready to learn the secrets of the dark side? Dare you?
I dare, Master Uthar. I am ready.
Brash and fiery, as expected. Turn that passion to your advantage, child. What of you, Meekle? Are you ready?
I am, Master. More than ready.
I sense much anger within you, young one. That is good. That will provide you power. And Shardan, what of you?
I am always ready.
I see. You had best gather your wits for the trial ahead, boy, or you will not last. And you, young human. Your slaves. They are irrelevant. They may accompany you so long as they do not interfere with us. You are brave to argue, young one. I have met few students who would speak so openly. Ask yourself first what this morality is. How is it created? Who does it benefit? You may come to the realization that morality is but an obstacle to overcome, or not. The discovery is yours to make, should you. Now then, all of you 5 recruits have shown a degree of facility with the Force. You all have the potential to become true Sith. Only one of you, however, will succeed. The one who succeeds will be admitted to the Academy as a full Sith. All others must wait until next year and try again, if you survive. My pupil, Euthura, shall be your teacher and master while you attempt to prove yourselves. Heed her words.
As Master Uthar said, none of you are true Sith yet. For that to occur, one of you must do enough of worth, gain enough prestige, to be selected. What is an act of worth? You must learn that for yourselves. Remember that you are competitors here. Fight for your destiny, or go home.
If you wish to gain a lead over your competitors, the first of you to learn the code of the Sith and tell me of it will be rewarded. The rest is for you to discover. Welcome to the dark side, my children.
Welcome to
Your
the
one
dark
chance
side,
at
my
true
children.
greatness
I like that
lies
line.
here.
That's a pretty cool line. So, we are in the Sith Academy, and we're gonna have to gain enough of, we got the Dark Jedi robe, some stuff right here, to blend in.
What do you need?
But essentially,
Talk about what? The only thing
we're gonna
I
have
wanna
to
do, I'll
go
understand if we
deep within the Sith Academy to infiltrate them and go to Naga Sadow's tomb, because that's where the Star Forge is, or the whatever that thing is, the map is, star map is.
Ah, there you are. My favorite prospect for the year. Absolutely. By my estimation, you are far more likely to achieve the prestige necessary to join the Sith than any of the others. As a matter of fact, I am so certain of that I'm willing to offer you an opportunity of the once-in-a-lifetime variety. Would you like to hear it? Good. I do so adore someone who's willing to take a chance. As I said, you're no doubt going to be the one whom Uthar chooses to become a Sith. With my help, of course. Once that occurs, he will take you into the Valley of the Dark Lords to the tomb of Naga Sadow to administer the final test.
Is it
There
Naga
you and I will be
Sadow
alone
or
with him.
Sadow?
The
I
perfect
always
time to, shall we say,
can't remember the
arrange for a
pronunciation.
change in the Academy's leadership. The tomb is an ancient ruin on the surface that was visited years ago
So
by
essentially,
Darth
she
Vader and
wants to
Darth
team
Malak.
up so we can
They discovered
fight
a star map
Uthar.
there of great importance.
Darth Malak went there? Very interesting, isn't it, Master?
Reaching that map, as they did, is part of the final test. At any rate, it is not the tomb that is important. That Uthar will be alone is what is important. Is that such a daunting prospect? It is not as if I am asking you to perform the task alone, or as if you will get nothing out of it. Master Uthar cannot prevail against us both. That's all there is to it. It is a very... I suppose you could do that. Even the hint of betrayal from his pupil and Uthar would move, but this is a very good opportunity for you. You can start off your Sith career as the right hand of the head of the Academy. Me, Uthar will not offer you that. Do you believe Uthar would not be aware of this? He would quickly figure out what you have to gain by betraying him, and would never believe someone would pass. Tell Master Uthar what you wish. You must not know much about the Sith yet. If Uthar were even to suspect that I might be trying to supplant him, true or
So
not,
essentially, you have to gain prestige in order to gain Master Uthar's favor by doing a varied amount of tasks, killing a bunch of ex-Sith, you know, going to all the tombs, learning this code as she is mentioning right now.
Your only worry now is to get there.
And this code I will fail spectacularly many times in this playthrough, and I had to actually look it up and, you know, figure it out so many times because I fucked it up so much. And I actually just ended up just like, oh, I know this, and fucking up so many
Peace
times.
is a
So.
lie. There is only passion. Through passion, I gain strength. Through strength, I gain power. Through power, I gain victory. Through victory, my chains are broken. The Force shall free me.
So what's interesting about this level is the amount of tombs and learning about the ancient history of the Sith back in the old times. And it's really interesting. You discover some other Sith lords never mentioned before, and it's a really interesting timeline of the ancient Sith. And I think this level is just so unique in that aspect alone, learning about the Sith themselves.
We could learn much about the history of the ancient Sith, why they were on Korriban, and perhaps we could learn more about the origin of the Force itself. With that knowledge could come not unless you are accompanied by Master Uthar. No, it is strictly forbidden. And I truly doubt you could bypass the doors to the tomb with anything less than ship blast. None. I do not even know how Master Uthar gains entrance. I have searched many times, so do not bother.
We're going to be exploring this academy first. We're going to be talking to a bunch of the members of the academy. our opponents as well, our
I'm
rivals,
originally from
and
you must know.
see what they have
I
to
was a
say.
slave to a cruel master.
And find Dustil too.
You have had an
So that's Uthar's room. We can't go to this area just yet. We can actually use T3M4, which I didn't even realize you could just use that lockpick skill and do that instead of just using a team member.
Hello.
Or yourself.
I don't remember
But you can actually just use T3M4 because he has a huge lockpick skill and just do that.
Yes, my master always says I'm too trusting, too willing to show.
So this guy is kind of a weakling, but we can persuade him to withdraw from the Sith and just become a Jedi.
You intend to be. I mean, you're just like everyone. Well, I didn't. I shouldn't try. I just don't feel I belong here. I thought maybe I did at first, but now I don't know. I have so many doubts. But where would I go then? I don't know. I never really thought about it.
So he's gonna give it a try. He's gonna go to the light side, so which is awesome. So converted a guy to the light side because he was very uneasy about it. He just wasn't even sure.
No problem. Didn't work.
Woohoo! If it isn't the freak from the colony. Shardan's the name. Don't forget it. You'll have me to thank when you... You'll get yours. Woohoo! If it is... And go into the dueling room. You can count on seeing.
You? I remember you from the colony. My name is Lasho. Remember it, for I'll be the one who earns the prestige to move on. You'll have to be satisfied with next year, I suppose. Just figure that out, did you? It just so happens that I have a surefire way of pulling ahead in this little contest of ours. You don't really have a I found an artifact that will impress Uthar far more than anything. I don't have it just yet. I'll get it. Like I would tell you. Why don't I just let you rock? So what if it is? I'll get it eventually, regardless. Nothing good comes without a bit of a fight.
So eventually I'm just going to persuade her so I can actually just help her. So essentially I can help her get this artifact and she will betray me, but we could still aid each other regardless right now. So I was trying to figure out how exactly to persuade her, and every persuasion skill did not work whatsoever. So until I did this one, which I didn't expect because I thought because she's a Sith and it would be tough to persuade her, I did force persuade. And it fucking worked. Who would have thought? But she is weak. I mean, many of the other Sith members are weak too. But it's really hard to still force persuade them. It's probably not even worth it, and it would piss them off even more. But I did force persuade her, which I was really surprised about.
Think that Master Uthar would find that impressive? A holocron, this holocron anyway, is an ancient record. Remember, the central pillars in the valley.
Alright, so we will help her on her quest a little bit later. For now, let's talk to whoever's healed, Mikhail. But there's actually another person.
You take a wrong turn
Dustil.
somewhere. Dustil.
So Dustil will not show up until you've talked to Karth quite a lot, I should say, and only until then. He will not show up until you actually talk to Karth.
Cute.
So here's
I wonder
Dustil.
how interested Master Uthar would be to know just who he has in his web. Unless you've switched sides, Father. But I doubt that. Just why are you here, Father? Not for me, I hope. Couldn't you have gotten yourself blown up on some ship and spared us this reunion?
Dustil, what are you talking about? I thought you were dead.
Too bad you didn't still think that. Or did you really think I'd be happy to see you? Look, everyone, it's Father, come to rescue me at long last. Sure, he may have left Mother and I to die on Telos, but that doesn't matter.
No, I didn't abandon you. The task force just arrived too late. Telos was in ruins, and your mother... I held her, but I looked for you. I swear I looked everywhere.
Ah, save it. You abandoned us long before. We were alone all during the wars, and even once you came back, you still didn't stay.
I didn't have a choice. I was needed.
Yeah? Well, you were needed at home, too. You were needed when the bombing started, and I got captured. You know what? It doesn't matter. Not anymore. I have a new family now, a family that cares about me. I don't need you.
The Sith? You can't mean that. No, the Sith killed your mother. The Sith destroyed Telos.
So? You're the soldier, Father. How many mothers have you killed?
No, you've been brainwashed. The son I knew would never...
You never knew me.
So he sounds like he's really indoctrinated with the Sith, despite them bombarding his planet and killing everyone in the process.
Touch me, old man, and I'll kill you. Get out! Get out of here before I tell the Sith that you're here.
Dustil, Karth is only trying to protect you. Let's go, Karth. If we do that, then the quest is over. We don't want to do that.
I don't need his protection, not anymore. The Sith give me everything I need.
You can't mean that. The Sith are... they're evil. They're the dark side. They took me away from you and your mother. They're what took you from me.
No, they are not evil. They're not. The dark side is superior. And you were at war long before they came along.
The Sith war to conquer, to rule the helpless. I went to war for you, Dustil, for your freedom, your future.
I don't believe you.
If I failed you, son, then it's my failure. Please don't add to it by becoming part of something evil.
Prove it. Prove that the Sith are so evil, and I'll think about it. I'm not gonna follow you around, forget it. If you're caught, they'll just think I was betraying them. I'll stay right here. I won't tell anyone you're here, for now. You find some proof, and you bring it to me. If I hear you asking questions about me, or doing a single thing to jeopardize my position in the Sith, I swear I'll tell everyone what you're up to.
It's so easy to prove. Let's look around, you motherfucker.
I'm not going anywhere otherwise.
But we gotta prove to him, so we'll come back to this quest a little bit later.
It's a bad year to try and become a Sith, you know. That's right. You might as well just go home, you know. There can... You think I would tell you? Have my brain started dribbling out of my nose? Funny. Say that after I'm a full Sith. You hanging around still? That's right. You think I would tell you? I could.
How may I be of a... What is it you would... Well, in the early days, KOTOR was there. They sought to... They swooped. We did the resist. But in the end, we were not our interstellar. We knew what was the most we could do. Most did not know. My parents carried. They fled as far. But Taras was my father. But we are warriors, so he would... Killed by a... I am...
So I messed up the code quite a lot, so let's go through this again.
Then finish the code. Peace is a... Through passion, I gain. Through strength. Through power. Through victory? The Force. Yes. Tell me then, true or false? Well done. I will test you no more. You know the code. Very. Go now. You have done well, but you have not impressed me enough to declare you the victor. Oh? It is no more complicated than I said.
Oh, so it's a popularity contest.
Really, however, you should seek out... There is an exit that... You wish to know more about me, do you? And why? I strived many years to hone my power, until I was able to... There is nothing else you need.
And I could always betray Euthora
Very
for
well.
him. But there are some consequences to that as well, because he's actually a bit more powerful than Euthora, as you can expect.
Maybe you can do better than I. This Mandalorian... I'm trying to get him to tell us where his weapon cache is hidden. So far, all the serum combinations I'm using are proving if I bring his drug threshold too high, he'll go into shock and be useless. Just activate the console. It gives you a variety of The real trick is that the only way to gauge your progress. Certainly. If you manage to get the location of his cache out of him, I'll be sure...
So regardless, if you try to interrogate him by putting all the doses and slowly torturing him, it will fucking give you... It will give you dark side points. So you do not want that, and that's for me in this case. I don't want to do that. So let's check out this room, the dueling room. So he's pretty much dueling a prisoner, and they're pretty much torturing prisoners with force lightning. You can see in the background. So I could use the dueling room and fight different prisoners, and essentially I will get dark side points, and I could tell them like, hey, I don't want to fight you. They'll still fight you regardless.
Word is that one of our experimental droids went mad and escaped and is hiding in the ruins. I wonder why we don't just get...
They can reprogram the Academy's sentry droids, attempt to open all cages and free the prisoners, 50 spikes, but definitely not worth it. I don't have the spikes for that, and it's not worth it at all. Yeah, I can get these files, which is interesting. There's some rebel students hidden within the Shirek caverns, so that is something I can do. So we are done. We are done for now, and I'm going to end it right here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.